Former CKE restaurant CEO Andy Puzder is with us this morning. How convenient, but a timely appearance, I would say. Andy, we've got a franchise owner in California, operates 18 McDonald's. He says he's had to, because of Newsom's $20 an hour minimum wage, he's had to raise prices 7% overnight, and he's got more price hikes still to come. Can those restaurants survive and prosper?
No, they can't. There will be a lot of restaurants, underperforming, Midland performing restaurants are going to go away. Very good performing restaurants will become Midland or low performing restaurants. As more restaurants close, there'll be customers, there'll be more customers for fewer restaurants. But people just can't afford these prices. And there's only so much you can do to reduce prices. I was talking to a fast food chain CEO about a week ago, and he was saying they're going to take all of their ordering at the drive-thru, and they're going to have professional order takers in India or in the Philippines who will take it won't be anybody in the restaurant that takes the order, it'll be somebody with a lower minimum wage in India or the Philippines who'll take your order. And they're doing anything they can to reduce costs so they don't have to raise prices, but there's so much pressure, particularly in California.
That's really crazy stuff, it really is. And a separate subject, but you've got a piece on foxnews.com. Biden's tax deception, one more thing our president gets wrong. Okay, what is Biden's tax deception?
He keeps going out and saying that the Trump tax cuts cost $2 trillion in tax revenue. That's based on an analysis the CBO did in 2018, before the Trump tax cuts had any impact. We now have 6 years of history of the Trump tax cuts and 4 years with updated projections by the CBO, because they projected for a 10-year period. They now know how it's performed. And if you look at those numbers, rather than the $42 trillion that they predicted the Trump tax cuts would generate in tax revenue, they're actually generating $45 trillion. So it's $3 trillion more than CBO projected. And if you look at the number that they projected with higher tax rates, they said if we had higher tax rates, it would be $43.7 trillion. Well, it's at $1.3 trillion more than you would have had with higher rates. This is Art Laffer's curve in practice. It's you lower tax rates, you generate economic growth, and you get more tax revenue. These tax cuts prove that, and Biden, and I think it's Jared Bernstein, the guy who's a social worker in real life that runs a Council of Economic Advisors, they need to stop deceiving the public with, inflation was 9% when I took over, tax cuts cost $2 trillion. They just didn't.
Would you like to go back and run a fast food chain again?
No. It would be very, very difficult to run it now. It was hard when I did it. It's very competitive business. You're really out there. It's very cutthroat. But now the government's making it impossible, particularly a company like I had, which was Hardee's and Carl's Jr., which when I ran it was stationed in California. It was headquartered in California. I moved it to Nashville, and I think that's a big reason why it's surviving. I mean, if you were still located in California, I don't know how you survive.
That was a good move.
Thank you.
Andy Puzder, thank you indeed. I'm glad you're on the show this morning. Andy, thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it.
My pleasure, Steve. Thank you.